Very late Christmas, family. Yesterday was Christmas, you know what I'm saying? And I got to spend time with my family as well as my girl and her family. And you know what I mean? It was a great time. We ate good. We gave out presents. We enjoyed each other's time and presents. You know what I'm saying? So I pray that your Christmas was amazing and blessed as well. That you got to spend time with your family and your loved ones. And most importantly, that you took into consideration the things to be grateful for. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, all the time, we're born into circumstances and situations that we don't have control over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't control the fact that I was born into a situation where my father was not present in my life. Right? I just have no control over that. I can't do nothing about it. I can't do anything about how he chose to respond and act and how he continues to respond and act. But what can I control? I can control how I view it. I can control my perspective and how I deal with that. You know what I'm saying? I can use it as a crutch and something that I cling to and hold me back. Or I can kind of use it as motivation, as a launch pad. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you personally, like, you were born into situations and circumstances that you most likely had no control over. But I encourage you to not let that hold you back. Use that as motivation, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, that motivated me to be like, yo, I want a better life for my family and my future kids, my future wife. You feel me? Like, use it as motivation. Don't let it hold you back. Control what you can control, and make sure your perspective is one that's gonna benefit you, not hold you back. You feel me? And the rest of it, man, leave it to the Lord. Like, you know what I mean? God got it. Ultimately, put your faith and your trust in Him. You feel me? Just like this sweater, faith over feelings. You know what I mean? You might not feel like giving it all to Him and letting Him be in control of it, but ultimately we know that's what's best. You know what I'm saying? So for you, a little encouragement: don't let the situations control you. Control your perspective of that and use that as a way to get to where you want to be. You feel me? So again, happy late holidays to you guys. But I am back with another video for you guys. It is a nice side part comb over, whatever you want to call it, with some volume in the front and a nice fade on the side. So go ahead, give it a like, give it a comment, follow on my IG, and yeah, show some love. I appreciate you guys. Stick with me. Alright, so to start this cut off and kind of clean our canvas and debulk the area we're going to fade, we're going to go ahead with our number 4 guard, and we're being conscious of not taking it too high along the ridge and the crown area, because we do want to leave some weight there for the specific reason of, you want to have a balanced look. You want it to fit his head shape well, so when you look at it from a front view, it's not like just like long hair on top and the sides are shaved, you know what I'm saying? Or you don't want to cut that crown off, because when it grows back, it will stick up like crazy. So we're going ahead with our number 3 and debulking the area before we get into our fading. To start the fading process, we're going to go ahead and set in our bald line. And as you guys can see, I started in the back, because I found when I start from the sides and kind of connect it in the back type deal, it either comes out, not even around the head, or I end up taking it a little bit too high towards the back. So I start in the back and then work my way, to the sides. And it allows me to keep that fade in the specific area that I wanted without taking it too high. We're gonna follow that bad boy up with the gold Babyliss shavers to get it really smooth. And what this does is it adds another kind of layer to the bald fade. You know what I'm saying? It makes the fade pop a lot more, because the transition from the skin into the hair is that much more, detailed and closer. So here we're gonna go in with our clipper all the way open, and here we're gonna go up about half an inch. You know what I mean? And keeping that same shape that we made with the bald line. So we're going to do this all the way around the head. And you guys can see right here, like as I'm setting this first guide line, I'm not really making a harsh line. As I get towards the top of that guide line, I'm kind of flicking out. So that transition from this open to my next step will be a lot easier to blend out. So here we're going to kind of debulk again and get it a little bit closer. So this is the 2 guard open. Again, being conscious of not taking it too high because we want to leave some weight along the ridge and crown area. You know what I mean? Because a habit I find barbers doing is because it's easier to either take it high all the way up to the part line or shave the crown off. And the problem with that is if the person doesn't get a haircut often, that grow back in the crown area is going to look kind of crazy. You know what I mean? It's going to stick up and all that stuff. So if you keep you either have 2 options, to keep length there or shave it off. And I would prefer to keep length there, especially, you know, if you don't get a haircut very often. So here, this is my 1 guard open. That was my second guide line. And that line in between the open and the bald line, we're going to go ahead and start off closed and open it gradually as we work our way up. And you know what I mean? And what I like to do is get through my steps as quickly as possible without rushing it, you know what I'm saying? But get through it as fast as you can. And then spend another 10 minutes detailing that fade. And what that does is a lot of times what we do as barbers, and you know, we want to be perfectionists, we want to get it to look the best, is we'll try to make our guidelines so perfect and that fade so perfect in the first time through. And what that does, if it doesn't come out perfect, you'll spend so much time doing that in the detail portion of it, you know what I mean, it doesn't leave you a lot of time to do that. So when you get through your steps as quickly as possible and you leave like 10 minutes to just detail that fade, it just takes it to that whole nother level, you know what I'm saying? And it saves a lot of time. So here under that 2 guard open, we're going ahead and closing that 2 guard. And then this is my 1.5 open. Kind of getting rid of that line, flicking at it, not taking it too high because you don't want to cut into that 2 open that we left up there. You'll see what I'm saying here. Like, this fade is, you know, nowhere near complete, but we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next side, and then I'm gonna detail at the end. But this is my 4 guard, and I'm not cutting into the weight up there. You see what I'm saying? I'm going straight up, leaving some weight there, and then we're gonna follow that up with clipper over comb or shear over comb to kind of soften that area and allow it to blend a lot better. So to move on to the next side, I did the open all the way throughout the head, so I'm going straight to my 1 guard open, meeting it in the back, connecting it with the other side. And then here, you'll see me close it. And I'm going right under that 1 open to kind of soften that area up a little bit. And then we're going to go with our clipper closed and open it gradually as we work our way up, being conscious of not taking it too high so we don't create more work for ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Here, this is my 2 guard open, kind of debulking a little bit more, flicking out as we get into that weight up there, and then I went ahead and closed it right under that 2 guard open, and then I'm going to follow that up with my 1.5 all the way open, again softening that line, taking it out, closing it just a little bit, and you can see it's slowly but surely this blend is coming together. And here with my 4 guard, I'm not cutting into it, I'm going off with this head shape, and what this is doing is just softening the area up, so when I follow it up with the thinning shears, it'll be a lot easier to blend. And here you'll see me point out a line showing you that the fade is not perfect, and we're going to go ahead and detail after we get through all our steps. So here's that 2 guard open, I went ahead and closed it a little bit, then following it up with the 1.5 open, I'm going to go ahead and close that. Clipper close, and we're going to gradually open it as we work our way up. And this right here is our half guard, kind of blending it a little bit better. this is our foreguard going off of the head shape. You see what I'm saying? I'm not cutting into the length very much that he has around the crown area. You see what I'm saying? I'm just flicking out and softening it up. And this right here is what is about to take your haircut to the next level. We're going to go ahead and detail. And for this portion of it, I'm not going to talk much. I'm just going to let you guys see what I'm doing, the kind of techniques I use. And yeah. And you'll see me use a lot of the corners to get into those dark areas that I couldn't get, the first time through. And then we're going to go ahead with clipper over comb, and I'm pointing the comb outwards and kind of getting those hairs that are sticking out. So when I follow this up with the thinning shears, it'll be a lot easier to blend. Go in with our thinning shears, and what this is doing is just softening that area up. I recently actually just started using thinning shears because before I was doing shear over comb, but thinning shears have been one of the best things that has ever happened to me. It makes the blending process a lot easier, a lot smoother, and yeah, but we're going ahead and blending into this bulk. And you can see right here how nicely just the thinning shears blend or help blend into that bulk. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier for me personally than scissor over comb. But with scissor over comb, what I would do is a lot of times I would take big chunks out, and it might be because my shears were trash. But I just found out that just with the thinning shears, it's a lot easier for me because it doesn't take a lot of length off. What it does is it just softens up that weight and blends a lot nicer. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get into the shear work or the scissor work, whichever word you want to use for it. We're going to go ahead and dampen the hair, and we're going to make 3 sections. We're going to make one on the left side of the head, one in the middle of the head, and then one on the right side of the head. And then with that middle section, we're going to go ahead and pull that up. And here my camera will block it for a minute, but I notice and move it down. And here we're taking about, I would say maybe about an inch, maybe an inch and a half off. It's more of an inch, my bad. And then we're going to move towards the back of the head. And then we're going to comb it all to the right side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take horizontal sections, as you will see here in a second. You'll get a better angle when I get to the other side, but I'm taking horizontal sections and just using that middle guideline that I used and using that to get the rest of the hair that length. You know what I'm saying? And you can see the guideline that I set in the middle. You see right there? And then I'm just going to connect it. And it allows for a nice even cut, you know what I mean, that is very organized. So I'm going to go ahead and wet the hair again because it started to dry. So I'm going to use all the other hair that I cut as a guideline for the opposite side of the head. And this is what I mean by sections. I take horizontal sections and I kind of, you know what I mean, connect the length that I cut with the length that I need to cut. And then I comb it back, get it out the way, take another section, and then connect that right there. And you know what I mean? You can see the guideline very easily this way, you know what I'm saying? It allows for a light, nice, more even cut. And I learned this technique from Chris Abasio. Shout out to the GOAT. To me, personally, the best YouTube barber, you know what I'm saying? And here, for the crown area, this is just going to connect into that a little bit better. And you can see I'm going off the angle of the head. I'm not dipping in because I don't want to make that too short to where it sticks up, and I want it to lay nicely. And for the fringe area, I don't want it to be all different lengths, so I go ahead and pull that forward. Make sure it all lays evenly. And then I'm going to go ahead with my 245 indestructible clay. I'm going to go ahead and emulsify that in my hands, get it nice and melted is the term I would use. You don't want it to be too chunky. And then I'm going to apply that in the hair when it's wet. And I'm going to go ahead and comb the hair in the direction I want it to lay. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my blow dryer and start in the crown area. And right off the rip, if you are a barber and you are already styling and blow drying your hair, you are setting yourself apart from the majority. You're not just throwing gel in the hair and leaving it wet and sending them out of the shop. You're leaving them, you know what I mean, with a nice style. And especially if you coach them and teach them how to do the hair on their own on a consistent daily basis, most likely you're going to have that client sewed. But here, I'm still blow drying the hair, giving it some volume. You'll see me pull it up. You know what I mean? I want it to have a lot more volume in the front and then, like, you know what I mean, shorter towards the back. And you see what I'm saying? Like, it's starting to come together really nicely. Here, I'm going to go in with my cool comb that has some different type of teeth on it, because with a normal comb, you know what I mean, it'll have normal teeth, like the sections won't look that different. And to give it a little bit more PC look, I'm going to go ahead and grab certain sections of it and just spray some hairspray in it to kind of give it some separation and, you know what I mean, a little bit longer hold than the product by itself would. And then he wants a little bit of a more natural lineup, so all I'm going to do is line up that arch area to make a little bit more cleaner, a little bit more masculine. That right there is the cut. The crown area is laying very nicely. You see what I'm saying? The style is dope. The fade is dope. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me know what you learned, things I can work on, you know what I mean, and explaining and video purposes. But that's my IG, at Dreclipperhands. Give me a follow. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. Catch y'all next time.